All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. Thank you for taking the time to join us this morning. Our agenda today, we are going to explore how you can create shortcuts, customize your workspace, and learn what is the greatest hotkey in Logos. If you have any questions during this webinar, email them to us at webinars@logos.com. We will be answering questions at the end of the webinar. And if you're interested in learning how to improve your experience with Logos, consider attending Camp Logos. Head on over to logos.com/camp to find a Camp Logos happening near you. Our speaker today is Ray Deck. Ray has been a Logos user for the past 14 years. He loves helping and teaching people how to use Logos to study the Bible. So without further ado, here's Ray.
Well, good morning. Glad to be with all of you today. We're going to dive right in to the software here. Let's get it open. All right. So if you're following along, if you have Logos on your computer and you've got a second monitor and you'd like to follow along, that will be just great. If you would prefer to just watch and maybe try to use the things that we cover today a little bit later, you can do that too. We record these webinars, so if you registered, we will email you a link to the recording tomorrow sometime, so you'll be able to watch this and review it at your own leisure. You'll be able to go back over the parts that were most interesting to you as often as you'd like. One of the things that I've found is that a lot of people, they buy Logos because they are interested in doing Bible study more effectively. Maybe they want to study more, or they want to get more out of their Bible study, and those are the best reasons to invest in Bible study software. And maybe you see your introduction to Logos comes at a conference, or a friend tells you about it, or something like that, and you decide to make the purchase. You buy Logos, and then you get it home. You open it up, and it looks like this. And you're not really sure what to do with it. It's a common feeling. We buy something new. We have something new, especially software, and we get it, and we think it's going to really help us, and then we get it home, and we open it up, and okay, now what? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, now what? We're going to talk about how to your first steps in doing Bible study. So we're going to do, I'm going to show you some of the most common uses of Logos for myself and for a lot of people. Then we're going to talk about how to use bookmarks to save those things so you can get back to the tools and resources you use most often. You can get back to them very quickly. Okay, and like Art said as we're going through here, if you have any questions, you can email them to us, webinars@logos.com. If I'm going too fast, or if I don't explain something thoroughly enough for you, send us a question. We will answer it here as we get done. All right? Okay. Okay, all right. Now, here we're going to jump right in. So Logos opens up like this on the home page, and if you saw Logos if you're for the first time at a conference, you know that this box over here in the corner, it's called the Go box. If you can type anything you want into the Go box, a passage, a topic, and press Go, and you will be off and running doing Bible study with that one click. Now, that's a great way to use Logos. But I want to show you another way, because a lot of times you don't want to open a bunch of stuff. You want to open just your Bible. So if you want to open just a Bible, the Go box, I mean, you can get to a Bible, but you're going to get also some other things. So let's talk about how, if you just want to open a Bible, that's all you want, you just want to open a Bible and read it, I'm going to show you how to do that. All right? First thing you're going to want to do, up here in the top left-hand corner, you see this home button. It's a little icon that looks like a house. If you click that, you will slide the home screen up and out of the way. That home button, the home screen, it's like a slide. It's like a blinds, right? You can drop it down or push it up out of the way, and the home button toggles it on or off. So you can turn it on or turn it off, and that happens with the home button. So we're going to push the home screen up out of the way, and then we're going to move over here to a different box, the command box. The command box works a lot like the Go box, except it will accept a broader range of things. The Go box will take passages or topics, so you could type something like John chapter 4, John 4, or you could type something like baptism. Or you could type something like miracles. You type a passage or a topic or press go. The command box will accept a broader range of things. Like, for example, if I want to open a Bible, all I have to do is type the abbreviation for my favorite version into the command box. The version I use most often is the English Standard Version, or the ESV. So if I come up here to the command box and I type ESV, then Logos will ask me, what do you want to do? Do you want me to open the English Standard Version, or there's a couple other books that I own that are have ESV in the title, so it's suggesting those as well. It's also saying, do you want to search for this term ESV? What is it that you want to do? Well, I want to open the English Standard Version. So if I click right here on Open English Standard Version, watch what happens. We get the English Standard Version, just a Bible, that's all. We get the English Standard Version open. Now, it opened to Ephesians 6:10. Why is that? Why did the English Standard Version open to Ephesians 6:10? Well, the reason is because I am preaching at my church on Sunday, and we've been preaching through the book of Ephesians, and this is our final week in Ephesians, and I am covering Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 20. So I've been in Ephesians a lot. In fact, the last time I had the English Standard Version open, I was right here in Ephesians 6:10. So what will happen is you type, when you open a book, a Bible, a commentary, a Bible dictionary, it will open to the last place where you were working. It's very convenient that way. Okay, so here we are. We've got a Bible open, English Standard Version. That's my preferred version. If you want a different version, say maybe you prefer the New King James Version, there it works exactly the same way. Click and you would open the New King James Version. Right? Okay, let me show you one other way that you can do this. If we are going to open the ESV, we type ESV into the command box. If you just click on the suggestion Open English Standard Version, Logos will do that. Or if you would like to tell Logos where you want the English Standard Version to open, you can click, hold, and drag, and now watch what happens. You see the section of my workspace that's highlighted? I can dictate to Logos where I would like this book to open. Click, hold, and drag, and you can tell Logos, I want this to be full screen workspace, half the screen workspace. Depending on what other books you have open at the time, you will see some other options. So let's drop off the English Standard Version right there. All right, now let's say, for example, that you're studying perhaps in Ephesians 6, and you're reading along here, and you think, you know what, this is great. Read my Bible. This is very helpful. I would like maybe a little extra help. I'd like a commentary open. Well, you can open a commentary the same way you open a Bible using the command box. I just happen to know that the Bible Knowledge Commentary is in my library, so I can type BKC for Bible Knowledge Commentary, and look, this top suggestion is open the Bible Knowledge Commentary. So I'm going to, just like I did with my Bible, click, hold, and drag, and tell Logos I want the Bible Knowledge Commentary open on this half of my workspace. And when I drop it off, there we go. And again, Logos open to Ephesians 6:10 in the Bible Knowledge Commentary because that's the last place that I had it open. Now, there's a lot of power in this layout right here. It's like having a Bible open on your desk and a commentary open on your desk right next to each other. That's very powerful. You read in the Bible, you read in the commentary. So as I'm reading along here, let's say I read a little bit deeper and I get to the end of the book and I find myself in Philippians. Did you notice as I scroll in the English Standard Version, the Bible Knowledge Commentary did not follow along? Did you notice it stayed put? I scrolled over here and the Bible Knowledge Commentary did not follow me. Well, it would be really convenient if when I scrolled in one of these panels, if the other would follow along. Wouldn't that be helpful? Well, you can totally tell Logos that's what you want it to do. Let me show you how. So in the top left-hand corner of each of these two panels here, you see the little book cover. If you click on the book cover, you will get a set of options called the panel menu. All right, so click on the book cover in the top left-hand corner of the panel, and you will get a set of options called the panel menu. If you look down here, the third, there's a lot of stuff in here, by the way. If you are the kind of person who perhaps buys large print books, you may be interested in this top option here where you can change the text size in a panel. See how I did that? That option might be of use to you. I find that if I'm studying at 10 a.m., I leave it just about like that. If I'm studying at 10 p.m., I tend to go more like this. Right? So you can adjust the text size of the panel using this option right here. But right now we're trying to link these two panels together so that they scroll together. So let's go down here to where it says Link Set, and let's choose Link Set A for the Bible. Now, do you notice the little A that appears on the panel menu over top the book cover? Let's do that again in the commentary panel. All right, so open up the panel menu by clicking on the book cover, and then we will again choose Link Set A. Now, there's an A in both places. Now watch what happens. When I scroll in the Bible, watch what happens to the commentary. It follows along. Isn't that helpful? Now, I can read through the New Testament, through any book of the Bible, I can read, and as I'm reading along, if I read something that's maybe confusing or that I want some clarification on, do I have to go hunting? No, absolutely not, because the Bible Knowledge Commentary has been following along. This is a little bit like, I said, it's a little bit like this layout is a little bit like having a Bible open on your desk and then a commentary open on your desk. That's not quite true. This is more like having a Bible open on your desk, a commentary open on your desk, and when you turn a page in your Bible, someone comes along very helpfully and turns the page in the commentary as well. Right? So isn't that nice and helpful? Let me show you one other thing. So this is very powerful. Bible commentary, you can do a lot of study this way. Let me show you one thing, though. This is maybe the greatest shortcut in Logos. All right, you're going to love this. So we've got a Bible open on here on the left. We've got a commentary open here on the left, or on the right, pardon me. If we go on the left, and we're looking at our Bible, and if we use our left and right arrow keys, watch what happens when I press the right arrow key. Press the right arrow key, and what happens? We just moved from the ESV to the New American Standard Bible. Watch, I'm going to press the arrow key again, and we go to the New King James Bible in the same place. We're in the same reference. We just opened a different Bible. I'm going to press the right arrow key again, and what happens? The New Revised Standard Version. I could keep pressing the arrow keys, left or right, and toggle through every version of the Bible that I own, and Logos would open it to exactly the same place. Now, look what happens if I move over to the Bible Knowledge Commentary and I do the same thing. I press the right arrow or the left arrow, right and left arrow keys when I have selected the Bible Knowledge Commentary tab. Watch this. Watch this. We open the Teacher's Commentary. I do it again. We open the New Bible Commentary. I do it again, and we open the Bible Exposition Commentary. Here's what's happening. So if you have the ESV open, the left and right arrow keys on your keyboard will tell Logos, I want to look at a resource that is parallel to the one I'm viewing right now. If you have selected the Bible Knowledge Commentary, left and right arrow keys, same thing. It will tell Logos, I want to look at resources that are parallel to it. If you are using a commentary, Logos will show you with the left and right arrow keys, you can toggle through all of your commentaries. If you are looking at a Bible, you have a Bible selected, left and right arrow key will toggle through every Bible that you own. So we said before that opening a Bible and a commentary this way in your workspace is a little like having a Bible and a commentary open on the desk in front of you with someone looking over your shoulder and turning the pages. As you turn the page in the Bible, they turn the page in the commentary to keep up with you. That's not really true either. When in Logos you have a Bible and a commentary open next to each other in your workspace, it's really like having every Bible and every commentary that you own open at the same time, and someone, as you turn the page in one of them, someone turns the page in every single other resource that you own. There is a lot of power right here in this very simple layout. With just a Bible and a commentary open, with one keystroke, the left and right arrow key, Logos will toggle through every Bible and every commentary you own. Think about this for a minute. If you were going to study a passage and you decided you wanted to open every Bible you own and every commentary you own to the same place, how long would it take you to do that? How long would it take you to just get all of your books open into the same place? Hours, right? It would take me hours to do that. I've been using Logos Gold. That's the library that I work on, the Logos 5 Gold base package. That's what I'm demonstrating today. And if I were to go and had paper books instead of Logos edition books, and I were to go open every Bible in Logos 5 Gold and every commentary in Logos 5 Gold open to the same place, that would take, literally, it would take hours. And Logos does that without even thinking about it. One keystroke, and we're able to toggle through every single one. Now, this is a very powerful layout. All of our Bibles, all of our commentaries available just a keystroke away from each other, right? So let me scroll back up here to Ephesians 6:10 where we started. Oh, I passed it. There we go. All right, that's where we got started, and we're going to toggle back to the ESV. Here we are. Okay, so we got our Bible commentary open next to each other. There's a lot of power here. Let's take it one step further, and let's add one more tool to this layout. All right, so we've got a Bible, all of our Bibles here on the left, all of our commentaries here on the right. Now, let's go to the Tools menu, which is on the bar right up here. Click on the Tools menu, and there's a lot of things in the Tools menu. You could spend hours exploring all of these tools. I want to show you a tool that often gets overlooked but has a tremendous amount of power. All right, it's right down here. It's one of the lookup tools. It's called the Information tool or the Info tool. All right, and just like we did with books, we're going to click, hold, and drag and show Logos where do we want to drop this off. Now, like I said, because we have some books open, we have a few options right now about where they go, where it could go. Let's drop it off here. Let's leave our Bible open in the full panel, and let's cut our commentary panel in half and drop the Info tool off down in this lower right-hand quadrant there, okay? So now we've got all of our Bibles open here on the left, all of our commentaries open here on the right, and then the Information tool in the lower right-hand quadrant. Now, just looking at it right now, it doesn't look like much, right? It's just kind of a blank screen. We've got a settings menu right here, but that's really all that we see on the Information tool. But don't let your first impression of it fool you. This is a very, very powerful tool. Let me show you what it does, okay? The Information tool is a lookup tool. What it does is it searches every dictionary you own at once. And you don't even have to click. Let me show you. So let's take our cursor. We're over here in the corner. Let's hover over a word in the text. You see there in Ephesians 6:14, stand therefore having fastened. You see that? We're right here. Let's hover over the word righteousness and let the Information tool go to work. There. We hovered over the word righteousness. Now look what the Information tool has done. It has looked up the word righteousness in every dictionary that we own. Now, the very first one, you see this abbreviation, is the Baker Encyclopedia of the Bible. It's a Bible dictionary, Bible Encyclopedia. It also looked up that word in a dictionary of biblical languages. It also looked up the word righteousness in Strong's Concordance. It also looked up the word righteousness in and tells us how many in the other places in Scripture where that word is used. Look at all of this information that Logos has gone out to find. Now, all of this information is now available to us. We didn't even click anything. We hovered over the word righteousness, and Logos looked it up in every dictionary we own. So now, look what we've got open right now. In this panel on the left, we have available on the right and left arrow key every translation of Scripture that we own, every Bible. Here in this panel, we have right now every commentary we own available on just the left and right arrow key. Left or right arrow key, and we'll toggle through each commentary that we own. And then in the information tool, all we have to do is hover over a word, and the information tool will look it up in every dictionary that we own. That is tremendous. There are, I should go out and look rather than guessing. Let's look real quick at how many dictionaries are available in Logos 5 Gold so that we can see how much work is Logos doing right now. Let's see if we can find Logos 5 Gold. Here we are. Here's Logos 5 Gold. Let's see how many dictionaries are available. Okay, I almost said 39. I'm glad I looked it up. There's only 37 original language lexicons. 37 original language lexicon. Logos searches all of them without a click, just with a hover, using the information tool. That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible that I can, as I'm reading along here, just read with my cursor following along. If I find a word that I want to look up, salvation. I stop, hover, the information tool looks up that word in every dictionary that I own. You know what? This layout right here with Bible, commentary, and the information tool, this looks like something that I would use pretty often. Right? This looks like a layout that I would use to read on a regular basis. I think I want to save this. Let me show you how to do that. If you find a layout that you like with a mix of books and tools that you feel like you're going to use really often, you can save it to use later. Let me show you how to do that. Up here in the top right-hand corner is the Layouts menu. If you click on the Layouts menu, now look, you see what this top option is? You see the timestamp? It says Now. That means the layout you have open right now, let's click on the link, Save as Named Layout, and give this layout a name. All right, let's call it Power Reading. Because we're reading, but it's not ordinary reading, it's really reading Logos style, or Power Reading. All right, so we'll give it the name Power Reading and hit Enter. And there, now Power Reading appears in our list of named layouts. So let's say we did our study, and then we were done for the day, and we closed Logos, we went away, we came back tomorrow, and we wanted to pick up right where we left off. You know how we could do that is just come to the Layouts menu and open the named layout, Power Reading, and we'd be open with all the tools and books that we had open. It would open right back up to the same place. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that powerful? So you can save this layout, and you'll find layouts that you really enjoy and you'll come back to over and over. When you find one, be sure to save it to the Layouts menu so you don't have to open individual books one at a time. Okay? There are a number of other ways you can save time using Logos shortcuts. Let me show you one in particular. This bar right up here on the menu bar, you see the word shortcuts up here? You can drag just about whatever you want. Remember we were click, hold, and drag earlier. You can click, hold, and drag just about anything you want up to the shortcuts bar, and Logos will create a shortcut for it. So I told you earlier, ESV is my preferred version. It's something I open on a regular basis. Well, since I use it so much, let's create a shortcut for it. So I will click, hold, and drag the English Standard Version right up here, and when I drop it off on the shortcuts bar, look what happens. I get a shortcut for the English Standard Version. All right, and I can do the same thing with a commentary. We had the Bible Knowledge Commentary. That's something I use pretty often. So let's click, hold, drag, and drop off the Bible Knowledge Commentary right next to the English Standard Version. Now I have shortcuts for both of those books, which I use very, very often. And I can do the same thing with the information tool. I use the information tool a lot. I want it to be very easily accessible. So I click, hold, drag, drop it off, and I get a shortcut for the information tool. Isn't that helpful? So now, with just one click, I can open any of these three things: the English Standard Version, the Bible Knowledge Commentary, or the information tool. Let me show you one other shortcut, because it's something that I think you're probably going to want. I think most people want it. When you study, or at least when I study, I end up with a lot of stuff open because I'm clicking on links. I hover over words, right? The information tool goes to work. I go in here, I click on a link to open and look at something else, and then I get another tab. Did you see how that happened? So if I'm studying, I get lots of stuff open. And to go through and click every X and close all of my books would take more time than I want to spend closing books. So the quickest way to do that is in the command box. Just tell Logos, close all. And if I hit enter, Logos closes all of the books that I had open at that particular moment. Isn't that helpful? And that is a command that I can create a shortcut for. Right, so I just click, type close all into the command box, and right here, this tool, close all, I click, hold, and drag onto the shortcuts bar, and now I have a tool for close all. Isn't that helpful? Close all. All right, now I want to take a minute, and I want to show you my favorite book in Logos. It's my absolute favorite book. It's actually two books, but there's one for the Old Testament, one for the New Testament. It's my favorite book. If you've purchased a base package, you're using it, you're enjoying it, this would be the next thing that I would recommend you buy. You need a Logos base package in order to get the value of everything that's in the tools menu, of all the guides, to really make Logos work the way it's designed to work. You need a Logos 5 base package. But once you've done that, the number one thing I would recommend you add to your library is the high definition New Testament and the high definition Old Testament. Let me show them to you real quick, okay? So I want to show them to you right next to a traditional Bible. So here's the English Standard Version, which we had open earlier. I just clicked a shortcut and opened it up. And then let's open the high definition New Testament, HDNT. And again, Logos gives me this drop down to recommend a number of different options. It's this first one that we're going to want to open. Click, hold, and drag, drop it off. And now look at the difference. So this is a Bible. The high definition New Testament is a Bible, but the text has been organized in such a way that it flows as the information flows. Rather than running text, running prose, it has been outlined almost or formatted to make it easy to see where the clauses start and stop, where phrases start and stop, and these icons have been added to show you what the original language is doing. Where there's emphasis added, the text has been bolded. Where there is the words are kind of being pushed into the background, they're grayed out. These little icons draw attention to wordplay or to parallelism or unique sentence structure. The high definition New Testament and its counterpart, the high definition Old Testament, are the easiest way for someone who would like to study the original language but hasn't had the chance to learn Greek or Hebrew. The high definition New Testament is made for people like you and me. Because it makes that information available to you even though you and I don't know Greek or Hebrew yet. Isn't that incredible? I love to use this book because it shows me at a glance how the information flows through the text, and these icons, just on a hover, I can see unique sentence structure, points of emphasis, or parallelism, contrast, things like that. It's a very, very useful tool. And the HDOT, the High Definition Old Testament, is formatted in exactly the same way. It is just the Old Testament. The same scholarship is applied to the Old Testament, and we can search through it just like we would a Bible. So let's go to, for example, Psalm 23. Let me try again. Psalm 23. Well, for some reason I'm struggling at the moment. Let's try Genesis 6. Hey, there we go. I told you, you could search through it just like you can search through a Bible. Genesis 6, using the reference box, you can search through it just like you search through a Bible, and quickly get information that was previously only available to those who have learned Greek or Hebrew. These two resources, the Lexham High Definition New Testament and Old Testament, these two resources are published by Logos. Our in-house team of scholars spent years working on these, and they're invaluable. I don't know of any books out there anywhere in the world like them. They are really remarkable, and I would highly recommend you adding them to your library. First thing you need, though, Logos 5 base package, and then once you have that, add the High Definition New Testament, High Definition Old Testament to your library. They live on my shortcuts bar all the time. I save them right up here, right next to the info tool, so that I can get at them very quickly, and I use them all the time. They're very, very helpful resources for me. All right, well, that kind of gives you just an introduction to navigating in Logos, how you can link panels together, how you can create shortcuts, how you can save layouts, and we're going to take a minute here and answer any questions that came in. And if you have questions, you can still ask them, webinars@logos.com, but we're going to take a minute and answer any questions.
All right, thanks, Ray, for showing us how simple and powerful Logos is to use. And thank you, guys and ladies, for everyone who submitted questions to us today. The first question here is, Ray, I was following along with you, but the results I'm getting in the info tool and during searches are different. Why is that?
That's a great question. So, like I mentioned, the library that I'm demonstrating today and the library that I use on a day-to-day basis is Logos 5 Gold. If you have a different set of books, you're going to see a different set of options. Let's go back to that layout real quick. Remember how to do that? Layouts menu right here, and we were on Power Reading. And we've got Bible, commentary, and then the information tool. If you have a different set of Bibles, a different set of commentaries, and a different set of dictionaries, these three panels, what they're doing is they're showing you what is in your library. That's what they're designed to do. And if you have different things in your library, more things, fewer things, different things, you're going to get different results. So I hover over the word ambassador, and I see results right away from the Baker Encyclopedia of the Bible. If you don't have Baker Encyclopedia of the Bible, the information tool can't show you results from it. So if you're looking at this and you're getting different results, it's because you have different books than I do. And if you would like to see these results, what you need is Logos 5 Gold.
Excellent. Next question here is, can I do all that you're showing me on my tablet?
That is another good question. Logos 5 tablet and smartphone apps are very powerful, and they do a lot of things, but they are not exactly the same experience as Logos 5 on your computer. They're included. If you buy a Logos 5 base package, you get access to all of your books on your mobile device. Many of the tools are available. Many of the guides are available. All your guides are up here in the guides menu, by the way. Many of the tools are available. Many of the guides are available, but not all of them, because, of course, the mobile experience is always going to be different than the desktop experience. So it does work a little bit different. It's optimized for your tablet or for your smartphone. So you can do a lot of things, but it's going to look a little bit different because it's a very different computing environment.
All right, and another question here is, what happens if I close Logos and forget to save my layout? Will I be able to recover my changes?
Aha, that is a very good question. Let me show you. So in the Layouts menu, we were paying attention to this top option. You see where it says Now? That is the layout that is open currently. Well, you notice down here there are others. So what Logos does, periodically, Logos takes a snapshot of the books you have open. So here's one from 1026. Here's one from this morning at 9:31. I had open my layout, Bible, and commentary. Here's a snapshot from 9:30 where I had opened some resources, but it wasn't a named layout. You see that? So if you were to say you're in the middle of your study and you close Logos and you go away and you think, oh, I want to get back to that, but I didn't save it. Open the Layouts menu and look for a snapshot close to the one that you were working on. You can, and it saves these snapshots for. Like here's some snapshots from October of 2013, right? So it saves them for a very long time. You can get, if you can't get it exactly back, you can get, at least you can get back very close, all right? And Logos is very helpful in that way, that it saves a snapshot periodically so you don't lose your place even if you close without saving.
All right, we have another question here. Can I delete books? Can we delete books that we will never use to save space on our computer?
That's a very good question. The answer is you can save space, but it's not by deleting books. It's by hiding books. It's just a little bit different. Let me see if I can remember where that happens. Pardon me while I look here. I believe it's in Program Settings, Hidden. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so all right, so it's in the Tools menu right here, Tools menu, and then Settings, and go to Program Settings. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you have this option, Hidden Resources. If you drag and drop resources here, it will hide them. That is, those books will not appear in searches. They will not index on your hard drive. They will effectively be absent from your library. They'll be hidden. Now, they're not deleted because you own them. They're your books. So if you ever change your mind and want to unhide them, you can do that. You just come here and remove them from this list. When you hide or unhide resources, you see this note here, you have to restart Logos for changes you make to take effect, but that is the best way to do it. You hide or unhide resources that you don't want to see. You can notice, I don't have any resources hidden because there are no resources in my library that I don't want to just get rid of. But if your hard drive space is at a premium and you want to prioritize, that's how you do it. It's by using hidden resources.
All right, one of our viewers wants to know, how did you tell the info tool to select dictionaries? Said he missed that.
Well, you don't actually have to tell the information tool what to do. That's what it does. Just by that's how it's designed to work. What you can do, the information tool, you can tell it in the settings menu right here. You can tell it whether you want it to update its search on a hover or on a click. And you can tell it if you want to show the entire definition or just a summary. And right now I've got show entire definition unchecked. So what the information tool does for me is I hover and it shows me a summary of the entry on that word in every dictionary that I own. There are a number of tools in the Tools menu that search your library or parse your library in different ways, and click through those and experiment. It's a lot of fun to learn what those tools do. The other way you can learn what tools do is up here in the top right-hand corner. You see this question mark? That's the Help menu, and you can use the user-edited wiki right here. That is a wealth of information. Here it opens in a browser window right here. This wiki looks just like Wikipedia. This wiki is full of information about what Logos is. So let's say, for example, you were using Logos and you wanted to know what the cited by tool is. You could come here, view online user edited wiki, open the help menu, view online user edited wiki, come here, and then you'd search for the cited by tool, and you'd have a wealth of information explaining what it is. All right, so that's a great way to get information about what the tools do or how the tools work.
All right, we have time for one more question. And the question is, how do I add the high-depth New and Old Testament books?
That is a great question. I'm so glad you asked. So we're going to go here to logos.com in a web browser. And logos.com is a bookstore. Right? You can get a lot of information about Logos, but what the real power in logos.com is a great place to get Bible study resources. So let's go to logos.com, and up here in the address bar, we're just going to type HDNT, logos.com/HDNT, and look where we find ourselves. This is the Lexham High Definition New Testament. It's the product that I featured, and same thing with the HDOT, we'll find ourselves on the Lexham High Definition Old Testament. If you can always use the search bar right here to search for specific products. Like, for example, I grew up with a Nelson Study Bible. And sure enough, it's in Logos. I can add it to my Logos library. That's the Bible. That's the study Bible I had when I was a teenager. It holds a very special place in my heart. So I can, if I want, add that to my cart, check out, and it will be added automatically to my Logos library. And when I do searches, results from it will appear in my search results, and I can read it. It's a great way to add power to your software by shopping for Bible study books on logos.com. All right, thank you for being with us. It's been a blast, and like I mentioned before, you can watch the recording at later. We'll send the link to you in about a day. It takes about a day to get the video processed, but hope this has been profitable for you, so thanks for being with us.
All right, thanks, Ray. Before we end, I want to share with you guys one last time some of the resources that Ray shared with us today. You can find out about a Logos 5 base package at logos.com/L5BP. And also the featured products. We had a few questions regarding those today. You can get more information at logos.com/HDNT, and that would be for the New Testament, and also logos.com/HDOT, and of course that would be for the Old Testament. And if you guys are interested, you can watch past webinars. We have them all archived for you at logos.com/webinar-archive. You'll find all our previous webinars that you can watch at your own leisure, pretty much 24/7, anytime you want. So lastly, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could send us a couple more, just a little bit of feedback on how we can improve the webinar experience for you. We read every single email that you guys submit to us, so if you don't mind, if you can think of an improvement, send it our way, and we would see if we can try to make this experience a better experience for each of you. So thanks so much for joining us today. Our next webinar is scheduled for September 23rd. That's September 23rd. That's 2 weeks from today. Todd Bishop will be covering layouts. Ray touched on layouts today, and Todd will go more in-depth. So we had a few questions about layouts, and I know you guys are going to want to come back for that one. He'll teach us how to set up and customize pretty much any way you guys are going to want to. So we'll be sending out an email soon where you'll be able to sign up to be a part of this webinar. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you again for joining us.